So the fine folks at Mission Engineering were kind enough to send over their latest product, which is called the 529 HC power converter. It's very appropriately named because that is exactly what it does, is it takes a 5-volt USB-C power source and converts it to a 9-volt power supply for us to be able to power our guitar pedal boards or any individual pedals that may require a higher than normal current, thus the HC in the name. It's built very well. It's very tiny. It measures about 3.25 by 2 by 1 inch, fits basically in the palm of your hand, extremely light, weighing in around 0.25 pounds. So the 529HC is capable of providing up to 2 amps of current to power whatever it is that we're looking to power. It makes the perfect pairing to power something such as the Line 6 HX Stomp, which is exactly how I will be using it, and we'll talk about a little later how it fared in doing that. But where do we get our power source from? Well, it's designed to work with a USB-C style wall power supply, much like what we would use to power or charge our cell phones or our tablets. That would be the more traditional way of using it, but the folks at Mission Engineering have also designed it to work with USB-C style battery packs as well. The battery pack would have to be a 5-volt, 3-amp battery pack, such as the one I have here. And this is the one that I actually tested it with. I'll put a link in the description to where we can get something like this. It's got a nice little LED readout that gives us the remaining percentage of battery life left, which is really handy. And as we can see here, it has its USB connector to provide the power to the 529 HC. So very interesting. I love this idea of being able to battery power my pedal board. This is going to give me the ability to possibly take it to a live performance, not be concerned with the quality of power that I'm getting at the venue. But it's also going to be able to allow me to do things I may have never been able to do before, such as maybe, take the HX Stomp out as an incredible headphone amplifier for my guitar. Take it to the beach possibly take it to the park. Take it to any setting that might be a much more musically inspiring area to take my guitar to and write music or practice, right? So that opens up a whole new possibility for us and is one of the really great features I feel of the 529 HC. So when I first got this, I thought, let's see what it can do with the battery pack that I have, and let's see how long I can power my HX Stomp for. So the battery pack I was using that I showed you a moment ago is a 27,000 milliamp hour battery. Now, I had that fully charged at 100%, and what I did is I hooked it up with the 529HC to my HX Stomp, and I set a timer and saw how long I could let this run. Well, what happened is it was getting too late and I didn't have enough time to get the battery right down to 0. But what I did do is get 5 hours and 23 minutes of power for the HX Stomp, and the battery had only reduced down to about 55%. So I only used about 45% of the 27,000 milliamp hour battery, and I got over 5 hours. So we can see that we're going to be able to power the HX Stomp, for instance, for quite a long time, enough to get us through, most gigs or a good day at the beach, as we mentioned before. Obviously, if I add more items to a pedal board, if I added, like I'm planning on doing, I'm gonna power a Line 6 G10S wireless unit and a Morningstar FX MC6 Mark II MIDI controller, then that's going to draw more power and we'll get less time over a battery. But those are not super high draw as far as power consumption goes. So we can see we're going to be able to use the 529HC in conjunction with a battery pack, and depending on the capacity of the battery pack, we will get a decent amount of time out of powering our pedal board. So the folks at Mission are going to offer the 529HC in 2 different packages. They're going to offer it very soon as the 529HC basic pack, which is basically just going to come with what you see here. It's going to come with the 529HC USB power converter. The reason they're offering it in this manner is it's going to allow them to offer it a little bit less expensive for those folks who already have a USB-C power source. Maybe they have a battery pack already that came with a USB-C cable, so the person's not going to have any need for a cable. Maybe they already have a wall power supply with a USB-C cable. They're not going to need that. So they wanted to offer it just on its own, but they're also going to offer another version of it, which is the 529HC standard, all right? And that's going to include the following. It's going to include, obviously, our 529HC power converter. It's going to include an 18-watt USB-C wall power supply, as well as about a 3-foot long USB-C cable with USB-C on both ends. It's also going to have one 2.1 millimeter 9-volt DC power cable so that we can plug it right into this side of our 529HC and then plug it into whatever the item that we're trying to power is. The other thing they're including, though, is one 2.1 millimeter to 2.5 millimeter DC power adapter. Now, the reason for that is something like the HX Stomp, for instance, uses a slightly larger barrel connector, not the normal 2.1 millimeter, but rather the 2.5 millimeter. So there are other companies who also do this. So we're going to be able to use that power adapter to plug it into the normal 9-volt DC power cable that comes with it and then power up something like our HX Stomp. So that's going to all be included in the 529HC standard package for those who want all the accessories they need to get themselves up and running right away. So that's wonderful. And I believe the street price on that is going to be around $155 US. So I really, really like this new offering from the fine folks at Mission, the 529HC. It's going to allow us to do a lot. I'm going to power my entire pedal board with this using a simple standard daisy chain style connector. And it's going to offer me plenty of power using either my battery pack or just the wall power supply to power that board. You know, even with the battery for many, many hours to get through any potential gigs or any situations that I might come across. So I'm going to have the links in the description for where you can get the 529HC standard package, as I described it, from the folks at Mission Engineering. That'll be available at their website. I'll also have their website link so that you can look up where the 529HC basic package is going to be available on their website as well. So thanks so much for checking this out. If this seems like something you guys would be interested in, head on over to Mission Engineering, take a closer look, and put your order in for it. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll be back soon with some more content. Ciao for now.